Yeah, when I talked to the manager of Guadalajara's here on Market Street, he told me that the owners haven't even spoken to the city about the next step. He says as far as he knows, there are still some things that's unclear about this purchase. The store owners and employees are pretty shaken up by a car smashing straight into this building. Well, Tara and Sefe, the tension was so thick in this park that you can cut it with a knife. Now, our city leaders were here today to express their reasonings behind this statue being removed, and not everyone was happy. Take a look. You can see crews right now removing this truck from under the bridge. Also, all types of blood types are needed. And if you cannot make it down here today, Nathaniel Bryant has been fighting for his rights since the early 90s. He told me that all he wants is for his voice to be heard. Now tonight we bring you a story about one local family, newest additions, who are special to both the parents and the doctor who delivered them. Wahoo Fox 27 Taylor Cairns gives us a look. All right, thanks, James. The Charlottesville police needs your help tracking down a man who was accused of robbing a woman on Friday. Now, this happened on the 700 block of Prospect Avenue. Well, okay, fellas, take note from this next story. From time to time, us women like to feel appreciated, and to make that happen, Mount Zion First African Baptist Church put on an event to remember. In the last hour, a lot of people have been coming here to the park. They're here to celebrate. These bikes are intense. And just like her cancer, every day, Janie kicks it right in the derriere. Well, guys, it's senior walk here at Carysbrook Elementary, and students are lined up so they can see high schoolers walk the hallway. But get this, guys, the seniors aren't here just to show off their gowns. They're here to deliver one message. To sit down and apologize to the community in a community setting, like maybe at a church or even here at Bella's restaurant. Robin Bryant says all she wants is for her son's killer to rot in jail. She says when it comes to the investigation, it's not the police who's doing the work. She says she's the one who's fighting for justice. In my hand is a letter from a company called Pure Environmental. They told me that they did an inspection inside of this apartment, and the regional manager told me what he found was disgusting. For Vincent Waldhauser, living inside his apartment is like living in a nightmare. Bed bugs have invaded his home, and he says the leasing company isn't doing enough to solve the problem.
Their neglect to tell me that they're even inspecting anything. It's just wrong. Everything about it is wrong and disgusting and immoral.
And it looks like they're going all the way down there now.
We first aired his story on Thursday when he found himself covered in these red, itchy bug bites.
All the way up my back.
Vincent hired a company called Pure Environmental to do a bed bug inspection. They said the colony is at least 2 months old, and they recommend the entire property be inspected for bed bugs. On Saturday, Interstate came to the unit to do a heat treatment, but Vincent fears the bugs will come back and that the apartment managers have become unresponsive.
Erica Allen's not doing her job. She assures me that she tagged my door, but I've asked several other people in the apartment complex if they got notices, and they said they hadn't as well.
So we took a trip to Real Property Inc. off Rose Hill Drive to see what the leasing office had to say about all this. And this is what they told me.
Any of the people that would have anything to say about it are not in the office at the moment, so.
Okay.
Would you like to leave a message?
Yeah. So far, no one has called me back. And for now, Vincent says he plans to get a lawyer.
Basically, I'm trying to take them to court because this is wrong for what they're doing to the other people in the apartment complex. Like, I'm going to be scarred for the rest of my life, probably. All over my... These bug bites don't go away. I mean,
Vincent says he has not gone back inside of this apartment. He says he's just couch bumming until he finds a place to stay. Reporting in Charlottesville, Jasmin Caldwell, CBS 19 News.
And down here to vote for the first time in 43 years.
It's a joy that can't be explained.
I never thought I'd be making this journey.
A journey that Nathaniel Bryant has been waiting on for over 4 decades.
It's been a long time, you know.
Before he was an adult, Bryant was already a felon.
I made some mistakes, you know, when I was young, hanging out.
At 17, the Charlottesville native was arrested for breaking and entering. He had to serve 3 years in the penitentiary, and in December of 1975, he went back, this time for robbery.
And I knew the consequences, you know.
Old habits took control a few years later, and he went to prison once again for breaking and entering.
And I was facing 20 to life, and they gave me 20 years. And I did 10 of that, and I got out in 1985, and I never looked back.
He only looked forward and decided to clean up his act.
And I made a promise to myself that I was going to get my rights back.
And that he did.
And once I get in there, I'm going to ask somebody I'm going to need a little help, because I never did it before.
Nathaniel Bryant has been fighting for his rights since the early 90s. He told me that all he wants is for his voice to be heard. And when he walks out of those doors in just a few minutes, all that will change.
I did it.
In April, Governor Terry McAuliffe signed an executive order restoring the rights of more than 200,000 convicted felons. Those who had served their time and completed probation or parole now have the right to vote, run for office, and even serve on a jury. But Republicans overturned that ruling, saying McAuliffe could only restore those rights individually. And that's what the governor did. He restored the rights of 13,000 felons. Bryant was one of them.
And I got to crying. They said, "You all right?" I said, "Yeah, but it just took so long, 43 years." And I wasn't giving up. I was going to get them. And just thankfully, it worked. It makes me feel so good knowing that I got good people in my corner.
Admitting that he was a little scared, but glad that his voice is no longer silenced.
Felt great after 43 years, I never thought I would get to this point, but I made it.
The proud new voter says he didn't go through this fight alone. He had help from his lawyer and the support from his family and from his daughter, who is now watching from above.
And she said, "Dad, you keep doing what you're doing, you will get them back." And I said, "I know it." And I told her, I said, "I just hope you be around," because she had got real sick, And it took a lot out of me, but I held on.
In the last few days, the issue behind removing the Robert E. Lee Monument has grown tremendously.
Anytime somebody finds something offensive, it's opportunity to have it removed from society.
City Council members Wes Bellamy and Kristen Sakos fully support the idea of removing the statue as well as renaming Lee Park.
History that we honor through statues and memorials needs to be a history that speaks for what we believe in. And in this case, these statues don't.
We unified this country.
Some say removing the statue is removing history, but Charlottesville's vice mayor feels differently.
Charlottesville is a city that has a great deal of history. Charlottesville is also a city that is moving forward. And as we move forward, in my position, civil rights, as well as the opportunity to make everyone feel included, trumps history.
Many supporters felt the discussion was one-sided because they didn't get the chance to speak.
Wes Bellamy, are you going to allow an opposing point of view?
This was a rigged job. There should have been opposing points of view, respectful. When people can't have an opposing, respectful conversation, then that's all that's left to us, is to holler above the speakers because we are not allowed to speak ourselves.
Governor Terry McAuliffe vetoed a bill that would have stopped local governments from removing Confederate monuments, leaving the decision to remove them up to City Council.
This is a period at which we really have an option to make this decision. State law is now clearer than it had been, and so people have really been calling on us to make a decision.